Another great defender of Christianity came from the Western Church. Very often we talk about the Eastern Church because Eusebius was an Eastern churchman, the father of church history. But a lot was going on in the West, and specifically in North Africa as well. And one of the great defenders of the faith there was Tertullian. He was a Roman lawyer who was converted to Christianity and then used his incredibly sharp legal skills and his tremendous gift of grammar to defend the church. And many of our great slogans that we often hear come from Tertullian. You all have heard the expression, the blood of the martyrs was the seed of the church. Tertullian. Here are some of the other things he points out. For example, Trajan the emperor said that Christians shouldn't be hunted out, but Tertullian did not find that too logical. He says of Trajan that the Christians must not be sought out, implying that they are innocent, and yet he orders them to be punished, implying that they're guilty. He spares them, and yet he rages against them. He pretends not to see, and yet he punishes. This man really could balance his phrases off. We Christians are but of yesterday, he says, and yet we have filled everything that you Romans have. Your cities, islands, forts, towns, exchanges, and yes, even the camps, tribes, palace, and senate itself. All we have left you Romans is your temples. Nearly all the citizens you have in nearly all the cities are Christians. That's an exaggeration. We'll talk about that later. But you Romans have preferred to call us enemies of the human race rather than enemies of human error. Look, you say, how we love one another, for you yourselves hate one another, and how ready we Christians are to die for one another. But even that is made a charge against us. And then an even more famous quote, if the Tiber River reaches the walls, or if the Nile in Egypt does not rise to water the fields, if the sky doesn't move or the earth does, I love it. If there is famine, if there is plague, the universal cry goes up, Christians to the lions. Yes, you magistrates, you may please the mobs by your cruelties to us, but you waste your pains. We multiply whenever we are mown down by you. The blood of the Christians is seed. There is a rivalry between God's ways and man's ways. We are condemned by you, but we are acquitted by God. I wish I could write like that.